Welcome to the Orange Belt level of the Craftsmaster Journey Level Up Black Belt program. Hey, my name is Joe and this is my Craftsmaster Dice Shooting Journey. Let's make it yours too. The goal of the Orange Belt level is to continue practicing our white belt and our yellow belt dice training. But also now the Orange Belt adds an additional element, which is throwing the dice to a proper height. And let's find out how we're going to do this. The Orange Belt begins with our warm-ups, and you can find those in the white belt video, which I'm going to link in the card in the top right-hand corner. This is followed up by a review of the dice grips, drop tests, dice setting, barrel tosses, and regular dice tosses. All of this can be found in the yellow belt video, and I'll link that in the top right corner as well. You'll also find a review of these techniques if you go to my playlist called Level Up in my YouTube channel. And look at the yellow belt level and that'll show you how to do them. Also, follow along all the way to the end of this video and I'll show you exactly what it's going to take to complete the Orange Belt level. Next, we're going to bring out the height throwing tool. And I show you how to build that in the video that's linked in the top right corner of the screen. Once we bring the tool out, what you want to do is measure how far it is from the back wall that you're throwing towards to the location of where your dice are set up. So in the Orange Belt level, we're starting off with either stick right 1 or stick left 1. And you want to measure how far it is from that back wall to exactly where you set up your dice on the table. Now we want to measure back 3 inches from that center point, and we want to set the center of that height throwing tool so it's located at that mark. The exact height can be found in the This Is How video that I produced a while back. And again, I'll leave a link in the top right corner to that video. Our Orange Belt training continues as follows. First, you want to use the barrel dice to practice throwing so they barely clear that string. We're going to try to get this down so that we can throw the barrel dice probably anywhere between 20 to 50, either perfect or near perfect throws where they're just clearing that string. And right now, I really don't care how straight down the table we're going. Just make sure that you're barely clearing that string and that there's no wobble to the dice, that they're actually flying square and true through the air. Once you can do this, it's time to move on to the regular dice. Again, with the regular dice, we're trying to throw it 20 to 50, either perfect or near perfect times, down the table and up, just so they're barely clearing that string. The third section of the Orange Belt training level is actually going back to the barrel dice. So actually going back to these dice right here and throwing them down the table so they barely clear that string. But now we're trying to throw them as straight as possible down the table and that they're landing with very minimal energy when they hit the table. And to do that, we can use a laser level pointed straight down the table so that way we can see on the back wall exactly where we want those dice to hit. If we can get this down 20 to 50 times, either perfect or near perfect in a row, what's going to happen is we can graduate onto the regular dice. And again, our goal with the regular dice is just to throw them down the table, throw them in a straight line so they just clear the string, and they come down, they land hopefully flat on the table with minimal energy stored in that dice. The fifth and final part of the Orange Belt level is going to be throwing the dice down the table so they just clear the string and that they land square and perfectly on the table somewhere before the back wall. But here's the catch. On this last step, we're going to be using the hard way set. We're going to actually set the dice. We're going to go with the 5-4-5-4 dice set, which is our base dice set. And you're going to throw it down the table so they barely clear the string, hit the table, hit the back wall, come the rest, and hopefully it stays on axis. So that way, if it does, that means that a 6 or a 1 will not show. The reason we're doing this is that way we can get our muscle memory down. So that way we can get the dice so they're flying on axis down the table and we can make it a constant rather than a variable. In other words, we're going to be practicing so we can commit the height of our throw to muscle memory. We can do it without even thinking, and it's not a variable no longer once we get to the table, and we can actually do the throw and not have another thing to worry about. It becomes muscle memory. Now the specifics that follow is how you're going to complete the Orange Belt level and actually level up in the Craftsmaster Journey Level Up Black Belt program. First, the orange belt level is a minimum of 10 sessions long. So I use the term minimum, meaning that you can go longer if you feel that you need it, but make sure that you get this part of the training down so that way it becomes that constant. To start the orange belt level off, we're going to start with our warm-ups. Again, you can find those in the white belt video. Next, we're going to go to do our practice dice grip. So you want to practice getting into your dice grip at least 10 times each session that you practice the orange belt level. You want to do 3 to 5 drop tests, and that's not from the table. That's going to be from our top position. And finally, we're going to do our dice setting. We're going to practice that 1, 2, 2, 3 dice set and the 5, 4, 2, 3 dice set. And we're going to do each dice set at least 9 different times. Once you get that down, we're going to actually go into our height throwing drills. And the first level is going to be doing the barrel dice, so they just clear the string. Again, we're going to try to get 20 to 50 throws, either perfect throws or near perfect throws. Once you can get that down with the barrel dice, we're going to move on to our regular dice. Again, just clearing that string and 20 to 50 times. The third level of training at the orange belt level is going to be using the barrel dice again, throwing down so it just clears the string and we get it in a straight line. So we're going to use that laser level to get it all the way down to the end of the table. The fourth level is using the regular dice, again in a straight line, just clearing that string. And the fifth and final step of the orange belt level is going to be throwing the regular dice down the table, using a hardware set, the 5, 4, 5, 4 dice set, in throwing it down the table in a straight line and trying not to get a 6 or a 1 showing when the dice come to rest after they finally get down there. If you can successfully finish the orange belt level, in my opinion, you will be in the top 30% of all dice influencers, meaning that you'll be able to control that dice better than 70% of the other people at the table. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Also, hey guys, click on that link in the right hand side. My name is Joe and this is my Craftsmaster Dice Shooting Journey. Let's make it yours too.